Hi, and welcome back to Football Made Simple. We're back with an in-game analysis in the Premier League as Jose Mourinho faced his old Chargers when Spurs hosted United. Solskjaer secured the away draw when Fernandes scored a penalty following a Steven Bergwijn opener, although the XG indicated that United were unlucky not to win. But what tactics did both managers use? In this video we take a look. Let's start with the formations. The home team lined up in a 4-2-3-1 that looked like this. United answered with a 4-2-3-1 of their own, which looked like this. Now, let's get into the tactics, starting with what United did on the ball as they were more proactive. United usually looked to play short from David De Gea and could usually progress through the first phase of play relatively unmarked. This was because Spurs used a mid-block and didn't look to press high in United's third. When defending, their 4-2-3-1 would quickly shift to a 4-4-2 with Lamela joining Harry Kane. But instead of always pressing the centre-backs, their first priority was to tie up the double pivots, Fred and McTominay, and make sure that they couldn't receive the ball easily. Once this was achieved, they could then look to press, but using angles to ensure that their cover shadows still covered United's pivots. United would then look to shift to a back three to cope with this, most commonly through Wan-Bissaka tucking in to form the back three, although Fred and McTominay could also drop deeper. It was, however, preferable for Wan-Bissaka to do this, as it meant that the pivots could stay higher here and force Kane and Lamela to remain central. This would mean the wide centre-backs, Off and Maguire, could now carry the ball past the first line of pressing and into the midfield. Often this would then allow United to overload the left side of the pitch, and Spurs often committed the men across to deal with this. This would then leave room for the switch. However, Wan-Bissaka was often slow in joining the attack to take full advantage of the space, although at times he managed to do so. But another way United could build up was when Spurs pushed their pivots higher onto United's own, which would then leave Bruno Fernandes in space. Often he would try drop deeper to give United the numerical overload in midfield, but more commonly United would often go out wide, hoping to draw the fullback whilst Fernandes made the run into the vacated space, but often his run was not found. United shifted in the second half with the arrival of Greenwood and Pogba. Solskjaer used Pogba as a more deep-lying playmaker whilst Fernandes stayed higher. At this time, Spurs were looking to hang on to the win and pushed much deeper, and their lack of threat after going ahead shows in the XG time map. Greenwood would push into the inside right channel as he wanted to play closer to the goal than James, and Rashford also tucked in on the left. United then released both fullbacks to provide the width, and with so many men central, Spurs' defence stayed compact centrally. They then looked to get more crosses into the box from these regions, but it was to no avail. But what did Spurs look to do with their 39% possession? Spurs were less often able to play out. They usually dropped Dyer alongside Lloris from the goal kick, and United could set up camp outside the box ready to press, and this often forced Spurs to go long. When Spurs did get out of their box, they would use the back three in the build-up as well, with Davies tucking in whilst Aurier pushed up higher. But United made it hard on Spurs, using their front four to press, man-to-man on the centre-backs and Fernandes on the ball side pivot, and Spurs usually played it safe and went long. The difference in pressing strategies is shown in the passes per defensive action, with United averaging 5.5 compared to Spurs' 16. But when Spurs did play through this, Lamela was key, dropping from his forward role whilst Kane stretched the backline, and alongside Son he created an extra passing channel to receive the ball. And from here, Spurs would then look to overload this left-hand side to make United shift across. The key was, because Aurier shifted high, and Rashford, as the wide forward, didn't always track back, Bergwijn could push infield, dragging Shaw with him, and as a result the switch was on time and again to Aurier, who would then have time and space. As a result, he had the joint most key passes and second most crosses for Spurs. It should also be noted United were dangerous on the transition, primarily because Fernandes was great at looking for gaps in the opposition, and United would look to pick him out first, and he would try to find one of the front three running in behind. However, in this match they were unsuccessful. Overall, in a fairly cagey match, both teams would have been hoping to create higher quality chances. But as always, not every tactic could be covered, so in the comments below, let me know what else you noticed, and what each manager could have done better. But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.